Let me add the first thing up I wanted to talk about when you're riding your bike is this. Everybody know what this is? That is called a distracted driver. Anybody run into those? Let me hear about in the check-in. Let me hear about your distracted drivers that you notice when you're out there on your bike, on your Can Am. Tell me about it. I've seen these so many times. No hands on the steering wheel. It's horrible. It's horrible. Wilfred says that's how we get hit in the back. That is a fact. That is a fact. So when you're riding around, tell me, when you see these distracted drivers, one hand on a cell phone, the other hand holding their Starbucks coffee, what do you do? Do you go around them? Do you go back? Do you get out their way? What do you do? See, this is how I do it. So I'm a rider who scans. So when I'm riding, I scan back and forth. Even when I have the light, I'm scanning. Even when cars pull up alongside me, I'm scanning. Even when I'm stopped at the light, as you know, I'm scanning, right? So Wilfredo says stay back. That's 100% right. That's a guy you don't want behind you, and definitely don't want him beside you because he is not holding the wheel. It takes nothing for that car to go right into you. So Wilfredo is correct. Stay back. When you notice it and you don't think it's right and you see that driver distracted or whatever he's doing, stay out of his way. And if you notice him coming up behind you, get out of his way. You're not going to win the fight. The whole object is to go home, right? You want to ride safely, have fun, and ride out. So Wilfredo's correct. Stay back, stay out of the way. Take the next turn, Black Widow Ryker, 100%. Get out of the roadway. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. So as we do that one, I want to go into my next one. My next one is this. Also famous. This is a New York City favorite, pothole. Now, from being a two-wheeler to a three-wheeler, I'll tell you right now, this is easy to navigate on two wheels because you just zip right around it. But on a three-wheel, how do you handle that? I want to hear it. How do you handle that? Let's see. Quasi says, I've seen plenty of cages in Houston reading the newspaper over the steering wheel. Women put on makeup on one hand, a cell phone in the other. Quasi, that is like mandatory in NYC that you do that while you're driving. For some strange reason, I think at this point now they put it in your driving manual to make sure you at least have one hand doing something other than driving, because it seems like everybody does it. But Quasi is 100% right. So these are the famous potholes in New York. Now, here's the problem. When you're on two wheels, you go right around that. Boom. Shoot right around that, right? But when you're on three wheels, you can't move the whole bike out the way. So what do? What do? Right. Potholes under your left or right foot, only clear spots on the Ryker. Right. 100%. So what I do is I kind of line it up like Quasi says, almost close enough to the right or left so I know that the back tire doesn't hit it. That's my thing. Ride it out. I got some Instagrammers talk about potholes. We're talking about potholes. Ride it out. my thing is to line it up. So I don't directly go over the middle of the pothole because that'll slam your back tire in there and that'll be some serious damage to your back. That seems to be a problem. So what I try to do is I try to get it right under the control arm, closest to the inside of the wheel. This way I know I'm passing that and my back tire will pass it. So I'm almost going over it, but not. So when it comes to potholes, that's what I do. Line it up with that control arm and go right over it, right? Let's see what else we got there. Okay, Quasi on the check-in. Potholes on the 11 right foot. Only clear spots on the Ryker. And Wilfred, so you have to stay back enough from cars you can't see those things coming. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Okay, I got somebody with a good idea on IG. They said in the class, they said line it up with your knee. That's a good idea when you have a pothole in your way. So DT Hendon, I hope I said it right, on IG said line it up with your knee and go over the pothole. Good idea. I said the control arm, but you're right. The knee is just as good. So that's a good idea. So we're going to use that one. Line up the pothole with the knee and go over it. This way you don't hit. Wilfred says, so you have to stay back enough from cars so you can see those things coming. Yes, I never pull up to the back of a car when I'm stopped close enough where I can turn and get out the way and leave myself some room. DTH Hendon from Vegas Ryker Rise. That's who it is. Oh, okay. Listen, bro, you want to shoot over to YouTube? You could join the chat. It's easier for us to go back and forth because we're going to do a little bit of this road safety. So let me bring up the next thing I was talking about, and it's going to be this one. I should have made it bigger, but I couldn't. This one right here is wet roadway. So how many of you guys ride in style on these wet roadways here? Right? Let's talk about it because that comes up a lot, right? Wet roadways. So what are we doing? What are we doing to do these wet roadways, right? Let's go back into the chat. Hey, everybody that's on IG, if you want to join in on the chat, shoot over to the YouTube live, and we're doing road safety. Okay, what we got here? All right, that's a Florida afternoon. Oh, the wet roadways of Florida afternoon. I get it. All right. So, but what's your riding style in these wet roadways? Me, riding style, distance, speed. Right? Oh, Preacher on the check-in. What's up, Preacher? Listen, if you want to get in on the YouTube live and you want to come into the live chat, shoot me an email, Rolling on Three Wheels. I'll send you a link and you can come on live right now on your phone or wherever you at. I'll send you a link directly. So I can't do it from the IG right now because of the YouTube live. But if you want to get on, just send me an email and I'll respond with a link and then you could come on. All right? Everybody that's on IG. Okay. Wilfred, make sure you have the gear and slow down 100%. And Black Widow Ryker, slow down, test your surface, keep your distance. Keep your distance seems to be the main thing to do. And I think keeping your distance is one of those things where no matter whether it's wet roadway or dry roadway, always keep your distance. Never get up on the driver because if I'm hitting the rear, I'd rather have enough distance than be wedged between two vehicles. So, but you're absolutely right. That's exactly 100%. Slow down, test your surface, and keep your distance 100%. 100%. All right, so that's great, guys. I just wanted to do a quick what? Oh, I got one more that I think is kind of cool. Let's see if I could bring this one up. This one is pretty cool. So this is gonna be my last one. It's hard to see it. Let me see if I can make it bigger. All right. So yeah, I can't make it that big because I brought it up at the last minute and I was thinking about it. So it's left-hand turns, right? So I want to know, because it seems to be like left-hand turns, it seems to be a big time problem when you're reaching intersections, and especially when cars are turning. So you notice in the red, cars like to come out and swing wide. So if you're coming down, you can't get in. So what do y'all guys do when you reach these type of intersections? That's the key right there. I noticed that it is extremely hard to judge on a bike because when people are making left turns, it almost looks like they're not even looking. So left turns, that's one of the most dangerous turns you can make, because that's when a lot of people wind up colliding into each other. So what I do at a left turn is, unless, of course, if it's controlled by light, it's something totally different. But when I make the left turn and I know there's cars turning in front of me, I hug this corner. I don't swing out wide. I hug those corners. Hug those corners. And the reason why I do that, because just in case this one of these drivers decide to swing wide or cut you in front of you, at least I got that corner to jump onto that sidewalk, and I'm not in the middle of the street just getting plowed. I'd rather get sideswiped than run straight over. So when I make those left turns, truthfully, and I'm making the right turns too, I hug those corners. Of course, you watch out for pedestrians, but I hug those corners. So that was the last one I wanted to bring up. So that was my little safety talk video. So I know the weather's been really, really nice, and a lot of things have been going on. So tell me, what have you guys been doing out there, so I can know what you're riding, what's been going on, any events, anything going on? Let me know. I'm going to check something out because I'm going to bring something up later. And of course, we're going to do a little giveaway tonight, of course, as usual. Let me see if I can find somebody who wants to jump in. Nope. Okay. Nobody's jumping in the live right now. So let's see what we got. Black Widow Ryker says, when I ride, I keep my head on a swivel. You can't go wrong with keeping your head on a swivel. That is a fact. Fact. I keep my head on a swivel all the time, even though it's ridiculous. You're just looking around like you're the Terminator. But trust me, keep your head on a swivel is 100% the right thing to do. 100%. And let's see what we got checking in right now. We got John D checking in. Just bought the 2021 Ryker 600. John D, welcome to the Ryker family. Appreciate it. Congratulations on your 2021 Ryker 600. Hey, man, send me an email so you can be on the podcast. So send me an email, man. I like to hear your talks about your first impressions